What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. You don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about the Walking Dead CRM, the Commonwealth. Is it going down? Good versus evil, obviously. Now, spoiler warning for the Walking Dead shows, comics, spin-offs, movies, everything related to the Walking Dead universe. Spoiler warning. Now, will it be good versus evil? Are they both bad? Are they both good? Can't wait to find out. But first, guys, before we get to it, and I give you my take, I need your help. Hopefully you're already a subscriber. Well, we still have that goal of 100,000 subscribers, and we're inching closer to it every day because of awesome people like yourself. Hitting the thumbs up button, liking the video helps to support the channel. And to keep the channel going and growing, we need support, whether just liking the video, subscribing to the channel, joining our membership program, becoming a patron, or picking up a copy of my book series. Fight for Us is available now and has been for years on Amazon in paperback and digital format on Kindle. We're around book 13. My latest release is Reckoning. And like I said, it's book 13. I have about 20 books in mind for the Fight for Us series. Then we could branch out different ways. But I also have a prequel series in 100 days. This is the latest cover idea concept that I made. Hope you join the fight and pick up your copy today. Now look at these guys, right? I know a lot of people are calling them stormtroopers, but they're Commonwealth soldiers from the Commonwealth, at least in the comics. We got to say the comics because we haven't seen it on the show just yet. Our first introduction of these guys was in season 10, episode 16. So we don't know if they're going to exactly replicate the comic story arc with where they're located in Ohio or not. And I believe the train yard here is in West Virginia on the journey to Ohio. That's where we'll go in season 11. And it's just like the comics. Eugene goes to meet Stephanie. Stephanie's not there. They're surrounded by Commonwealth soldiers. They meet Lance. They go to the Commonwealth. And then Stephanie is actually a real person that Eugene ends up being with. Now, Stephanie is going to be played, the rumor has it, by Margot Bingham, as she was the voice over the radio. We haven't seen Stephanie yet, but we heard her voice. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Stephanie and Eugene. And Eugene's going to find love, right? Come on. But we talk about the Commonwealth, who they are, what they're about, the comic connection that may happen on the show in a separate video. Go check it out with the thumbnail right there. We explain who the Commonwealth is from the comic at least. Now, again, comic is the comic and the show is the show, but the soldiers look pretty darn close to what Charlie Adlard drew in the Walking Dead comics, so that's pretty cool. And if you know the comics, you know that the Commonwealth is the end game of the story. Our group goes there in Ohio, they kind of find their jobs, find their roles, and you see that's where the story ends. And the Commonwealth is pretty good. They're not really villains. There are some villain, bad type people at the Commonwealth, but the soldiers are fine. Pamela Milton is like a political official. She reminds me of Deanna. Who's Deanna? But Pamela Milton is kind of like a female governor, but not as crazy, not as bad, so don't worry about that, at least in the comics. Hopefully we'll meet Mercer, who is the leader of the Commonwealth soldiers. He is supposed to be a good guy. I believe he is a good guy. He ends up with Princess. In the comics, at least, they get together. I don't know if they end up together, but they get together, you know what I'm saying? But Mercer is the big guy that controls the Commonwealth soldiers. He's their leader. He is the guy that looks after Sebastian Milton, who's terrible. And Sebastian Milton is the son of Pamela Milton. He's a spoiled brat. We'll just say that. Now, CRM looks to be the total opposite of the Commonwealth, at least from the show and the comics, because the CRM, the Civic Republic Military, is not in the comics. The Commonwealth is in the comics. CRM is just for the show. And if you saw The World Beyond, you know that CRM, the Civic Republic Military, from the CR, the Civic Republic, is terrible. They have their own agenda. They're kind of mysterious. They're wearing all black when the Commonwealth soldiers are in white. So they look to be polar opposites, at least from the colors, symbolism. You know, it just looks to be different agendas for them. Now, we've only really met Elizabeth Kublik and Isabel from CRM, or the CRM, the Civic Republic Military. We met a couple people here and there, but these are the two main people that we really focused on. Yeah, Jadis was involved with CRM, but she's not a soldier. She was kind of like a consultant or an associate or someone that traded people to them. So she wasn't really a soldier of them, but she was still bad. Either way, Elizabeth Kublik, if you watch the end of The World Beyond Season 1, Episode 1, which I thought was very good, by the way, Elizabeth Kublik, we think, attacked the campus colony, broke down the walls, made it look like the walkers got in. They saved the day, but I think they did this. The walkers, the empties, they're not going to knock this wall down. They've been standing for 10 years. Elizabeth Kublik came in one Monument Day, the 10th anniversary of Monument Day. She comes in, takes out a lot of these people. I don't know if all 9,671 people died, but there's some chaos here. We don't know what's up with this dude, but they just have this aura of evil, of bad. The way they're dressed, the way they act, the way they talk, the way they are, their mystery behind them. It's not a good mystery, right? It's like, wow, these people are evil. We don't trust them. I feel like they have an agenda, like they're trying to rebuild the world and they control things. Like, we did all this. You owe us. And if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be alive. We'll have to see how it unfolds. There could be more to Elizabeth Kublik and the agenda that she has and what CRM has and the Civic Republic has, but I just feel like CRM is bad. We saw how Hope and Iris and a lot of people interacted with CRM. What's up with the containers? Dr. Leo Bennett. What's going to happen with that story? I can't wait to see what happens. We're only one episode in of The Walking Dead World Beyond, but it's already told us so much. Dr. Bennett is somewhere in the United States. They make us think he's in New York. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not. It was all a setup, but it's gone bad. Keeping my head down. I'll find help. Don't tell the council. So don't tell people. Stuff's breaking down. CRM is located in several spots in the United States. At least I'm guessing, right? We know they have a Portland connection, possibly a Nevada mountain time zone connection. Clearly New York right here. Omaha, possibly Pennsylvania, Virginia. They have a way of getting around. It's just what we know so far. And we don't even know if they're in Alaska, Hawaii, outside the United States, in Mexico, all over the country, all over the world. I can't wait to find out more and more and more, because here's a great shot of it. Portland, Civic Republic, Campus Colony, and Omaha. And then question marks. Are these other spots actual locations where they are, where they've been, where they could have been, where they're rumored to be? We just don't know yet, but I find the question marks pretty interesting. California, Texas, New Mexico, the South, and so on. Now, we saw the helicopter pick up Rick, and we know that they took Rick away, right? So what's going to happen with Rick? We know they don't let people out once they let people in. They don't let people in and they don't let people out. So if they let people in, if you somehow got in, you're not getting out. So that's why Rick is not getting out, which is bad and pretty much evil. You should be able to come and go as you please, but they control things and they do what they want and they get stuff done. Now, I think Michonne could come in some way, somehow with her group. She's going to find Rick. That's when we saw her in season 10, episode 13. She left the show and she didn't plan on coming back, but you never know. Maybe the final season brings people back. You know, stuff can happen, nostalgia and everything like that. But Michonne found this group and they highlighted for a reason. I like to call them Michonne's Mountaineers, or the Mountaineers. They're kind of a wilderness, Western style. Reminds me a lot of Oregon Trail, right? You ever play that game? Go back and play it. It's pretty fun. But ultimately, Michonne should come back around, and I would love to see a Marvel Cinematic Universe, Endgame, Infinity War type of thing where it's been building and building and building, and everybody comes together. So you have the people from The Walking Dead. You have the Commonwealth, and you need an army. You need soldiers. You need a group. You need weapons. You need tactics. You need the ability to fight effectively against CRM. So it's the Commonwealth versus CRM. Maybe Felix comes in there. Maybe it's all the shows coming together to fight CRM. CRM is the common enemy of all three shows. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, maybe it happens, maybe I'm just reaching. But ultimately, Felix, maybe this masked fighter, whoever this person actually is, joins the fight. Maggie, wherever she was, Georgie, the twins, maybe there's a big epic battle. I think The Walking Dead wants to replicate what the MCU did and bring everybody together in a big epic way from all three shows. So we'll see who survives. But Morgan, Althea, Alicia, Strand, I would love to see John Dory being a gunslinger, fighting side by side with Daryl Dixon, Rick Grimes fighting CRM and those terrible people. That would be gold. That would be money. Let's go. Come on. I can just picture it now. A big epic battle with Dwight, Althea, everybody joining the fight. And this would be great too. Isabel joins our group. Recruits some people from CRM, knows how to get people inside, knows the ins and outs, knows how to help out. Isabel's got to come back around, right? Now, that being said, All Out War was like All Out Bore. Remember when Rick had a shot at Negan and he missed? Come on now. The Whisperer War was pretty weak. They need to step it up and end things in a big epic way. And I'm not talking about the hype. Like Daryl Dixon, Norman Reed is saying, we got this big Game of Thrones battle happening at season 10, episode 16. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the final season of Game of Thrones? Because that's what it was like, a disappointment. You're building up the hype and there really wasn't a big battle. Even though I loved season 10, episode 16, there wasn't a big battle. There was no Game of Thrones epic stuff. Stop saying stuff if you don't deliver. But I had this theory weeks ago, months ago, whenever you were watching this. The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and World Beyond is the end game. all three groups of all three shows coming together to fight the CRM. The CRM or CRM, whatever you want to call it, the Civic Republic Military, is terrible. They're bad, clearly. They have their own agenda. They want to take over the world. What are you going to do tomorrow, brain? Same thing we do every day. Take over the world. And remember, CRM is just for the show. I believe it's Gimple's idea, so I'll have to see if it makes sense. I can't wait to find out one way or another, but I could see it happening that way. Good versus evil, and hopefully an epic battle that's actually epic. But ultimately, guys, we have to wait and see. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen for years and years and years. Thank you, guys. Stay safe, and tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.